As you settle into this moment, letting your body sink a little deeper into comfort, I want to tell you about the vast, quiet ocean that exists beneath your waking thoughts. Your subconscious mind is always there, working tirelessly in the background, even now as you listen to these words. In fact, scientists estimate that your subconscious processes about 11 million bits of information every single second, while your conscious mind can only handle about 40 bits in that same moment. Imagine that, like comparing the entire ocean to a single drop of water. Your subconscious is doing almost all the heavy lifting, quietly, peacefully, without you ever having to think about it. This incredible part of your mind never truly sleeps, even when you do. While your conscious awareness drifts away into dreams, your subconscious remains on gentle watch, continuing its work. It keeps your heart beating steadily, maintains your breathing in its natural rhythm, regulates your body temperature, and orchestrates the thousands of other processes that keep you alive and well. Think about that for a moment. You don't have to remember to breathe, you don't have to remind your heart to beat. Your subconscious has been doing this since before you were born, and it will continue, faithfully, every moment of your life. There's something deeply comforting in knowing that this part of you operates on a completely different sense of time than your waking mind. Your subconscious doesn't distinguish between past, present, and future in the way your conscious thoughts do. It holds memories from years ago as vividly as yesterday's events, and it can imagine future possibilities as though they're happening right now. This is why a memory can suddenly feel so real that it fills you with emotion, or why visualizing something peaceful can immediately calm your body. Your subconscious experiences it all in an eternal present moment, a timeless now where everything simply exists together. And here's something remarkable: your subconscious mind is constantly working to protect you and keep you safe, but it does so in the gentlest ways. About 95% of your daily decisions and behaviors are actually guided by your subconscious patterns and habits, not by conscious deliberation. When you automatically reach for a glass of water when you're thirsty, when you know exactly how much pressure to use when picking up an egg, when you navigate your home in the dark without thinking, that's your subconscious taking care of you. It has learned these patterns so deeply that it can execute them effortlessly, freeing your conscious mind to rest and wander. Perhaps most beautifully, your subconscious communicates with you through the language of feelings, images, and sensations rather than words. It's been said that your subconscious is like a garden, constantly growing whatever seeds have been planted there, tending to them without judgment, without question. When you feel an intuition, a gut feeling that you can't quite explain, that's your subconscious offering you wisdom drawn from patterns it has noticed across your entire lifetime of experiences. It sees connections your conscious mind might miss, and whispers its insights through a feeling of knowing. Right now, as you rest here, your subconscious is listening to every word, absorbing everything at its own pace, in its own way. And it knows something wonderful, that it's safe to let go, to release the day, to allow sleep to come naturally. Your subconscious will keep watch, as it always does, maintaining everything that needs maintaining, while you drift peacefully into deeper rest. As we drift a little deeper into understanding this quiet companion within you, let's explore how your subconscious has been shaping your world since the very beginning. From the moment you were born, your subconscious mind was already at work, recording everything, learning constantly. By the time you reached the age of 7, your subconscious had absorbed the fundamental beliefs and patterns that would form the foundation of how you see yourself and the world around you. Like soft clay taking shape, those early years created impressions that your subconscious still carries with tender care, still honors, even now. What's truly extraordinary is that your subconscious learns primarily through repetition and emotion, not through logic or reasoning. This is why a song from your childhood can instantly transport you back in time, complete with the feelings you had then. Your subconscious attached emotion to that experience, and preserved it perfectly, like a flower pressed between the pages of a book. Every time something made you feel deeply, whether joy, wonder, safety, or even fear, your subconscious took note, creating pathways in your mind that would help you navigate similar situations in the future. It was always trying to help you, always learning what kept you safe and what brought you peace. And here's something that might bring you comfort as you rest. Your subconscious mind is incredibly suggestible and open, especially in these quiet, relaxed states between waking and sleeping. In these liminal moments, when your conscious mind softens its grip and your analytical thoughts begin to fade, your subconscious becomes like a still pond, perfectly receptive to gentle, positive suggestions. This is why affirmations feel more powerful when you're drowsy, why visualizations seem more real as you drift toward sleep. The gateway between your conscious and subconscious minds opens wider, allowing new seeds to be planted in that garden we spoke of earlier. Your subconscious also has a remarkable relationship with your body that goes far beyond just keeping your heart beating. Research has shown that your subconscious beliefs and expectations can actually influence your physical healing and well-being. When you deeply believe, at a subconscious level, that you're safe and that your body knows how to restore itself, your immune system responds more effectively. Your subconscious sends signals throughout your entire body, releasing helpful chemicals, adjusting your physiology to match the peaceful state you're cultivating right now. It's as though your body and your subconscious are old friends, speaking a language of sensation and response that needs no translation. Something else beautiful happens while you sleep, something your subconscious orchestrates with remarkable precision. During your dreams, your subconscious takes all the experiences and information from your day, the sights, the sounds, the feelings, the conversations, and begins sorting through them, deciding what to keep, what to integrate, what to release. It's like a gentle librarian, working through the night, filing away what's important and clearing space for tomorrow. Your subconscious knows exactly what you need to remember and what you can safely let go of. It's doing this work right now, even as you listen, preparing to carry you into deep, restorative sleep where this process can continue undisturbed. And perhaps most wonderfully, your subconscious is always oriented toward growth and healing. Given the right conditions, safety, rest, gentle guidance, it naturally moves toward balance and wholeness. Your subconscious wants you to feel at peace. It wants you to feel safe. It has been working your entire life to create patterns and responses that protect you and help you thrive. Even the patterns that no longer serve you were once created by your subconscious out of love, out of a desire to keep you safe in circumstances that have long since passed. So as you rest here now, you can trust this ancient, wise part of yourself. You can thank your subconscious for all it does, for all it has done, for the way it continues to hold you even in this moment. And you can allow yourself to sink deeper, knowing that you are being cared for, that everything necessary is being tended to, that sleep will come naturally and easily, in exactly the way your subconscious knows is best. Let's travel a little further into this sanctuary within you, this place where your subconscious dwells in peaceful constancy. One of the most fascinating things about your subconscious is that it doesn't understand negatives in the way your conscious mind does. When you think, "Don't think of a blue elephant," your subconscious immediately brings forth the image of that blue elephant, because it processes the concept itself, not the don't. This is why it responds so much better to positive guidance, to thoughts of what you do want rather than what you wish to avoid. Right now, as you think of relaxation, of comfort, of ease, your subconscious is already beginning to create that reality in your body, softening your muscles, deepening your breath, preparing you for rest. Your subconscious also has an almost infinite capacity for storage, like a vast library with endless shelves stretching into the distance. While your conscious mind can only hold a few pieces of information at once, about 7 items, give or take, your subconscious remembers everything you've ever experienced, every face you've ever seen, every word you've ever heard, stored away in intricate detail. Most of these memories rest quietly in the background, not actively recalled, but still there, still part of the tapestry of who you are. And in this moment, as you relax more deeply, you don't need to access any of those memories. You can simply let them rest in their proper place, filed away safely, while you exist here in this peaceful present. Something truly remarkable happens in the relationship between your breath and your subconscious mind. Your breathing is unique. It's one of the only bodily functions controlled by both your conscious and subconscious minds. You can choose to breathe deliberately, consciously, or you can let your subconscious take over entirely, breathing for you automatically, perfectly. This bridge between the conscious and subconscious makes your breath a powerful tool. As your breathing naturally slows and deepens in these quiet moments, it sends signals to your subconscious that everything is safe, that you're ready to let go, ready to trust in that deeper wisdom to carry you through the night. Your subconscious is also endlessly creative in ways that might surprise you. Every dream you've ever had, every unexpected solution that came to you seemingly out of nowhere, every moment of inspiration, these are gifts from your subconscious mind. While your conscious mind works linearly, following logical steps from one thought to the next, your subconscious makes connections across vast distances, linking ideas and experiences that seem unrelated on the surface. It works in symbols, in metaphors, in feelings and images. This is why sometimes you wake up with the answer to a problem that puzzled you the day before. Your subconscious has been working on it all night, approaching it from angles your waking mind never considered, weaving together insights while you slept peacefully. The language your subconscious speaks most fluently is the language of imagery and sensation. This is why visualization is so powerful. Why imagining yourself in a peaceful place can immediately shift how your body feels. Your subconscious doesn't distinguish between a vividly imagined experience and a real one. Both create similar patterns of neural activity. Both generate similar emotional and physical responses. So when you imagine yourself in a place of complete safety and comfort, perhaps a warm, softly lit room, or a quiet beach at sunset, or a forest clearing dappled with gentle light, your subconscious accepts this as your current reality and adjusts everything accordingly. Your heart rate slows, your muscles release their tension, your mind quiets. And here's something deeply reassuring: your subconscious has a built-in wisdom about what you need. It knows when you need rest, when you need rejuvenation, when you need to process and integrate. It communicates these needs through feelings, the heavy eyelids that tell you it's time to sleep, the yawn that signals your body is ready to transition, the way your thoughts begin to drift and soften as consciousness prepares to step aside. Right now, Your subconscious is gently guiding you toward exactly what you need most: deep, restful, healing sleep. And you can trust this guidance completely, because your subconscious has been caring for you since your first breath, and will continue until your last, faithful and constant as the rhythm of the tides. So let yourself sink deeper still, following that gentle pull downward, into rest, into peace, into the quiet depths where your subconscious holds you safe. As we drift even deeper into this exploration, let's consider the profound connection between your subconscious mind and the concept of habit. Scientists have discovered that it takes somewhere between 21 to 66 days for your subconscious to fully adopt a new pattern as automatic, though the exact time varies from person to person and from habit to habit. But once your subconscious has learned something, once it has woven a behavior into its fabric, that action becomes effortless, requiring almost no conscious energy at all. Think of how you learned to walk, to talk, to write your name. Tasks that once required intense concentration now flow through you like water, guided by the gentle, unseen hand of your subconscious. And right now, as you rest here, your subconscious is even learning the habit of deeper relaxation, of easier sleep, simply through this experience of letting go. Your subconscious mind also operates according to what psychologists call the principle of least effort. It's always seeking the path of least resistance, the easiest way to accomplish what needs to be done. This is why habits are so powerful. Once established, they become the effortless default, the smooth groove that your behavior naturally follows. But this principle also means that your subconscious is always working to make your life easier, to automate what can be automated, to free your conscious mind from unnecessary burden. Even now, it's managing thousands of processes so efficiently, so smoothly, that you're not even aware they're happening. Your subconscious is a master of effortless efficiency, and it's allowing you to simply be here, to simply rest, without needing to manage or control anything at all. There's something almost magical about the way your subconscious processes time during sleep. While an entire night might pass in the external world, 6, 7, 8 hours, your dreams can span what feels like days, weeks, or even longer. Your subconscious experiences time as fluid, elastic, expandable. A single dream might contain a lifetime of experiences compressed into minutes. This ability to stretch and compress time is one of your subconscious's greatest gifts, and it means that even a short period of sleep can feel deeply restorative, can contain vast amounts of processing and healing. As you prepare to sleep, know that your subconscious will make the most of every moment. That time will expand to give you exactly what you need. Your subconscious is also deeply connected to the wisdom of your ancestors, to patterns of behavior and response that have been passed down through countless generations. Some researchers believe that certain fears, certain attractions, certain instinctive responses are encoded deep within your subconscious, inherited from those who came before you. The way you instinctively know to fear certain dangers, the way you're drawn to certain comforts, these might be echoes of ancient wisdom, the accumulated knowledge of all those who survived and thrived enough to become your ancestors. You carry this deep, old knowing within you, and your subconscious tends it like a sacred flame, using it to guide you towards safety and away from harm. You are held by something much older and wiser than your individual experience. Something truly beautiful about your subconscious is its capacity for change at any age. There was once a belief that the brain and mind became fixed after childhood, unable to form new pathways or release old patterns. But we now know this isn't true. Your subconscious remains plastic, adaptable, capable of learning and growing throughout your entire life. New patterns can be established, old patterns can be gently released, beliefs can shift and evolve. Your subconscious is not a rigid structure but a living, flowing process, constantly reshaping itself in response to your experiences and intentions. This means that healing is always possible, that growth is always available, that you are never stuck, never beyond the reach of positive change. Right here, right now, in this peaceful state, your subconscious is open to whatever shifts would serve your highest good. And perhaps most wonderfully, your subconscious has a deep connection to your sense of purpose and meaning. Beneath your conscious worries and daily concerns, your subconscious holds a quiet knowing about what truly matters to you, about what brings you genuine joy and fulfillment. It notices patterns across your life, what makes you feel alive, what makes time disappear, what fills you with a sense of rightness. Your subconscious is always gently nudging you toward alignment with these deeper truths, even when your conscious mind is distracted or confused. It whispers through intuition, through dreams, through unexpected moments of clarity. And as you rest now, you can trust that your subconscious is guiding you, even in sleep, toward whatever serves your deepest well-being and truest path. So continue to sink deeper, allowing your subconscious to do what it does best, to hold you, to guide you, to carry you safely through the night toward the rest and renewal you deserve. As we journey even further into the gentle depths of your inner world, let's explore how your subconscious responds to the natural rhythms that surround you. Your subconscious is intimately connected to circadian rhythms, those ancient biological cycles that have guided living beings for millions of years. Even without clocks or sunlight, your subconscious knows roughly what time it is, tracking the passage of hours through subtle shifts in body temperature, hormone levels, and cellular activity. This internal timekeeper is why you might wake up just before your alarm, why you feel naturally drowsy at certain times of day. Your subconscious is synchronized with the turning of the earth, with the rhythm of day and night, and right now, it recognizes that this is a time for rest, for release, for allowing consciousness to fade into the peaceful darkness of sleep. Your subconscious mind also has a remarkable relationship with repetition and rhythm. It finds comfort in patterns, in the predictable return of familiar things. This is why lullabies work, why the sound of rain or ocean waves can be so soothing, why rocking motions calm us from infancy through old age. Your subconscious recognizes these rhythms as signals of safety, as echoes of the very first rhythm you ever knew, your mother's heartbeat, heard from within the womb. Every repetitive, rhythmic sound or motion speaks to something ancient in your subconscious, something that remembers being held, being safe, being at peace. And as you listen to these words, flowing in their gentle rhythm, your subconscious is receiving this same message: you are safe, you are held, you can let go. Something fascinating occurs in the boundary between waking and sleeping, that twilight state called the hypnagogic phase. In these precious moments, your brainwaves shift from the active beta waves of normal waking consciousness down through alpha waves and into the deeper theta waves associated with meditation and deep relaxation. During this transition, your subconscious becomes extraordinarily receptive, like a garden after rain, ready to receive whatever seeds are planted. This is when the barrier between conscious and subconscious is thinnest, when suggestions and imagery can slip through most easily. And this means that these moments, right now, as you hover in this soft space between wake and sleep, are precious opportunities for your subconscious to absorb peace, to integrate calm, to learn deeper and deeper relaxation with each passing breath. Your subconscious is also the keeper of all your automatic emotional responses, those immediate feelings that arise before conscious thought can intervene. When you instantly feel warmth seeing a loved one's face, when you instinctively recoil from something unpleasant, when you feel a wave of nostalgia from a familiar scent, these are your subconscious responding, drawing on its vast library of associations to help you navigate the world quickly and efficiently. But here's something comforting: while these responses were learned, often long ago, they can also be gently reshaped over time. Your subconscious is always learning, always updating its database of associations. And in states of deep relaxation like this one, you can begin to create new associations, linking rest with safety, linking letting go with trust, linking sleep with healing and renewal. The subconscious mind has an interesting relationship with symbols and metaphors that your conscious mind might not immediately recognize. Where your conscious mind deals primarily in literal meanings and logical connections, your subconscious thinks in poetry, in symbols, in layered meanings. This is the language of dreams, where a house might represent yourself, where water might represent emotions, where flying might represent freedom or transcendence. Your subconscious communicates these deeper truths through imagery because images carry multiple meanings simultaneously, can hold paradoxes that language struggles to express. And it listens to metaphors just as readily, so when we speak of sinking deeper, of drifting away, of letting go, your subconscious understands not just the words but the experience they point toward, and begins to create that experience in your body and mind. There's also a profound truth about your subconscious in the present moment. While your conscious mind often dwells in the past or worries about the future, your subconscious exists primarily in the eternal now. The sensations in your body, the rhythm of your breathing, the feeling of rest, these are always happening now, and this is where your subconscious lives. This is partly why mindfulness and presence are so calming. They align your conscious awareness with where your subconscious already is. Right now, in this moment, there is only breath, only sensation, only the gentle pull towards sleep. The past is stored safely in memory, the future hasn't yet arrived, and here, in this eternal present where your subconscious dwells, there is only peace, only this moment, only the simple gift of being alive and ready to rest. So let yourself settle even more completely into this moment, into this breath, into the gentle care of your subconscious, which has brought you safely to this place of rest and will carry you safely through the night. As we move deeper still into this quiet exploration, let's turn our attention to the way your subconscious acts as a bridge between your mind and body, creating what we might call a conversation without words. Your subconscious translates thoughts and emotions into physical sensations and responses. When you feel nervous, and your stomach tightens, that's your subconscious interpreting the emotion and expressing it through your body. When you feel happy, and your face naturally softens into a smile, that's this same translation at work. This connection flows both ways. Just as emotions create physical sensations, changing your physical state can shift your emotional landscape. Right now, as your body becomes heavier, as your muscles release their grip, your subconscious interprets these signals and responds by creating feelings of calm, of safety, of deepening peace. Your subconscious is also responsible for something called procedural memory, the type of memory that stores how to do things rather than facts or events. This is how you remember how to ride a bicycle even after years away from one, how your fingers find the right keys when typing without conscious thought, how you can catch a ball without calculating trajectory and speed. These skills are stored so deeply in your subconscious that they become part of you, automatic and effortless. And just as your subconscious has learned countless skills throughout your life, it's also learning right now, learning how to relax more deeply, learning the pathway to easier sleep, creating new automatic responses that will serve you night after night, long after this moment has passed. Something truly remarkable happens during the deepest stages of sleep, when your brain enters what's called slow-wave sleep. During these phases, your subconscious orchestrates a kind of cleansing process in your brain, where cerebrospinal fluid flows through neural pathways, washing away metabolic waste products that accumulated during the day. It's as though your subconscious is a gentle caretaker, tidying up, clearing away what's no longer needed, preparing your mind for a fresh start. Your subconscious knows exactly when and how to initiate this process, and it will do so naturally tonight, as it does every night, maintaining and renewing your brain while you rest in peaceful unawareness. Your subconscious also holds what researchers call implicit biases and automatic associations, patterns of connection formed through repeated exposure and experience. While your conscious mind might believe one thing, your subconscious might hold different associations formed earlier in life or through cultural conditioning. But here's what's beautiful about this: awareness itself begins to shift these patterns. Simply becoming conscious of what lies in the subconscious begins a gentle process of integration and change. You don't have to force anything, don't have to struggle or fight. Your subconscious responds to gentle attention, to compassionate awareness, to the light of consciousness touching it softly, like sunlight warming a flower until it naturally opens. The subconscious mind has a fascinating relationship with stories and narratives. While your conscious mind can analyze a story critically, noting plot holes or questioning logic, your subconscious tends to accept stories as experiential truth. This is why movies can make you cry, why books can make your heart race, why listening to someone describe a peaceful scene can make you feel peaceful yourself. Your subconscious experiences the story as though it's happening, generating real emotional and physical responses. And this means that the story you tell yourself about sleep, whether it's easy or difficult, whether you trust or resist, becomes the experience your subconscious creates. Right now, we're weaving a new story together, one where sleep comes naturally, where rest is safe, where letting go is the easiest thing in the world. Your subconscious is also deeply influenced by repetition and consistency over time. A single exposure to an idea or experience might make a small impression, but repeated exposure creates deep grooves, well-worn pathways that become the default route. This is why daily practices are so powerful, why rituals matter, why returning again and again to the same calming thoughts or actions gradually reshapes your subconscious landscape. Each time you practice relaxation, each time you allow yourself to drift towards sleep with trust and ease, you're reinforcing these pathways, making them stronger, making them more automatic. Your subconscious is learning, night by night, that this is safe, that this is natural, that this is how it's meant to be. So continue to rest here, allowing each breath to carry you deeper, trusting in the wisdom of your subconscious, which is even now preparing you for the most restful, rejuvenating sleep, guiding you gently toward dreams and renewal. As we continue this gentle descent into deeper understanding, let's explore how your subconscious serves as the guardian of your personal identity. Deep within your subconscious lies your sense of self, the collection of beliefs about who you are that forms the foundation of your experience. Psychologists sometimes call this the self-concept, and it resides primarily in the subconscious rather than conscious awareness. Your subconscious holds the answer to questions like, am I capable? Am I worthy? Am I safe? and then works tirelessly to prove these beliefs true, filtering your perception and guiding your behavior to match what it believes about you. But here's the gentle truth: these beliefs were learned, often absorbed without conscious choice, and what was learned can be softly, gradually relearned. Your subconscious is always open to updating its understanding of who you are, especially in these quiet, receptive moments of deep relaxation. Your subconscious also has a profound connection to your immune system, a relationship that science is only beginning to fully understand. Studies have shown that your mental and emotional states, processed primarily by your subconscious, can influence the activity of immune cells throughout your body. When your subconscious registers safety and calm, it sends signals that allow your immune system to function optimally, to focus on healing and maintenance rather than constant vigilance. Right now, as you rest in this peaceful state, your subconscious is communicating with every system in your body, including your immune system, letting it know that this is a time for restoration, for repair, for the quiet work of keeping you healthy and whole. Something fascinating happens with memory consolidation during sleep, a process your subconscious manages with extraordinary sophistication. Throughout the night, your subconscious replays the day's experiences, particularly those with emotional significance, deciding which details to preserve and which to release. It strengthens important neural connections while pruning away what's unnecessary, like a gardener tending to growth. But your subconscious doesn't just store these memories unchanged, it actually integrates them with existing knowledge, finds patterns across experiences, and sometimes even generates insights or solutions that weren't apparent during waking hours. This is why problems that seemed overwhelming at night can appear more manageable in the morning. Your subconscious has been working through the darkness, processing, organizing, creating new understanding while you slept peacefully, unaware of this remarkable labor of love. Your subconscious mind is also exquisitely attuned to the emotional states of others, picking up subtle cues that your conscious mind might never notice. Micro-expressions that flash across a face in a fraction of a second, tiny shifts in vocal tone, changes in posture or breathing, your subconscious registers all of these, forming impressions and feelings about others that we often experience as intuition. This sensitivity developed over millions of years of evolution, when reading the emotional states of others could mean the difference between safety and danger. Your subconscious is constantly scanning, constantly sensing, constantly gathering information from the world around you. But right now, in this protected space, there's nothing to scan for, nothing to monitor. You can allow this vigilant part of your subconscious to rest as well, to soften its watchfulness, to trust that for these hours of sleep, you are safe and need not remain alert. The subconscious has a unique relationship with pleasure and reward that shapes much of your behavior. When you do something that your subconscious associates with pleasure or reward, it releases neurochemicals that create good feelings, encouraging you to repeat that behavior. Over time, even the anticipation of these activities triggers these responses. Your subconscious learns to feel good not just from the experience itself, but from moving toward it. And here's something beautiful: your subconscious can learn to associate sleep itself with pleasure and reward, with the good feeling of release, with the satisfaction of deep rest. Each time you allow yourself to sink into sleep peacefully, each time you wake refreshed, your subconscious strengthens this positive association, making sleep something to move toward rather than something to struggle with. Your subconscious also maintains what's called homeostasis, the delicate balance of thousands of processes that keep your body functioning within optimal ranges. Body temperature, blood sugar, pH levels, hydration, energy expenditure. Your subconscious monitors all of these and countless others, making tiny adjustments moment by moment to maintain equilibrium. It's like a master conductor leading an orchestra of unimaginable complexity, ensuring every instrument comes in at exactly the right moment, at exactly the right volume. And sleep itself is a crucial part of this homeostatic process. Your subconscious knows when you've had enough rest and when you need more, when to pull you toward wakefulness and when to deepen your sleep. You can trust this innate wisdom completely, knowing that your subconscious will guide you through the night, maintaining perfect balance, bringing you naturally back to wakefulness only when you're truly ready. So let yourself surrender even more fully to this care, to this guidance, allowing your subconscious to do what it has always done, to maintain you, to heal you, to carry you safely through the darkness toward the light of a new day. As we drift further along this peaceful journey, let's consider how your subconscious processes and responds to language in ways that transcend mere words. When someone speaks to you with warmth and kindness, your subconscious registers not just the content of their words but the tone, the intention, the energy behind them. It responds to the music of speech, the rhythm, the pitch, the pace, often more than to the literal meaning. This is why a soothing voice can calm you even if you don't fully understand every word being said, why a harsh tone can create tension even when the words themselves seem neutral. Right now, your subconscious is responding to the gentle cadence of these words, to their slow, rhythmic flow, allowing them to guide you deeper into relaxation regardless of whether your conscious mind follows every single phrase. Your subconscious also carries within it something researchers call somatic markers, bodily sensations associated with past experiences that help guide your decisions and responses. When you meet someone new and instantly feel comfortable or uneasy, that's your subconscious accessing somatic markers from similar past encounters, giving you information through feeling rather than analysis. When you walk into a room and immediately sense whether the atmosphere is tense or welcoming, your subconscious is reading countless subtle cues and translating them into a gut feeling, a body sensation that communicates faster than thought. These somatic markers are your subconscious's way of sharing its vast knowledge with you through the simple, immediate language of bodily sensation. And right now, your body is creating new somatic markers, associating this deep relaxation, this peaceful state, with safety and trust, markers that will serve you every time you prepare for sleep. Something truly extraordinary happens in the relationship between your subconscious and the phenomenon of neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to reorganize and form new neural connections throughout life. Every time you think a thought, every time you perform an action, you're either strengthening existing neural pathways or creating new ones. Your subconscious manages this process automatically, reinforcing the connections you use most frequently, allowing unused pathways to gradually fade. This means your brain is constantly being reshaped by your experiences and habits, sculpted moment by where you direct your attention and what you repeatedly practice. And in this peaceful state, as you practice letting go, as you practice trusting and rest, your subconscious is actively reshaping your brain to make this easier and easier, creating neural pathways that lead naturally toward sleep, toward peace, toward effortless release. Your subconscious mind also has a deep relationship with archetypes and universal patterns that seem to appear across cultures and throughout history. Psychologist Carl Jung proposed that certain images, themes, and symbols reside in what he called the collective unconscious, patterns of meaning that transcend individual experience. The wise elder, the nurturing mother, the hero's journey, the cycle of death and rebirth, These patterns seem to resonate with something deep in the human subconscious, appearing in myths, dreams, and stories across all cultures. Whether or not a collective unconscious truly exists, it's clear that your subconscious recognizes and responds to these archetypal patterns, finding comfort in their familiarity, their timelessness. The journey into sleep itself follows an archetypal pattern, a letting go, a descent into darkness, a trust and renewal, and your subconscious recognizes this ancient journey, knows it deeply, has made it thousands upon thousands of times. The subconscious also maintains your spatial awareness and proprioception, your sense of where your body is in space, even when your eyes are closed. Right now, without looking, you know where your hands are, where your feet are, how your body is positioned. Your subconscious is constantly integrating information from countless sensors throughout your body, creating a complete map of your physical presence. This awareness typically happens below the level of consciousness. You don't have to think about it, don't have to consciously track every limb. But as you prepare for sleep, you can bring gentle attention to this awareness, noticing how your body feels heavy against whatever supports it, noticing the points of contact, the temperature, the weight. And as you notice, you can feel how your subconscious is already allowing everything to become heavier still, preparing your body for the complete rest it knows you need. Your subconscious also has what we might call a wisdom about timing and readiness. It knows when you're truly ready to release a belief that no longer serves you, when you're prepared to learn a new skill, when the conditions are right for change or growth. This is why forced change often fails, while natural, organic change that flows from readiness tends to last. Your subconscious has its own sense of timing, its own understanding of what you need and when you need it. And right now, in this moment, if your subconscious senses that you're ready for deeper rest, for easier sleep, for greater trust in the process of letting go, then it's already beginning to create that shift, working at its own perfect pace, in its own perfect way, guided by a wisdom deeper than conscious understanding. So continue to sink, to soften, to surrender, trusting in the perfect timing of your subconscious, knowing that everything is unfolding exactly as it should, that sleep will come in its own time, naturally and effortlessly, like the tide returning to shore. As we journey even deeper into the realm of your inner wisdom, let's explore how your subconscious serves as the keeper of your core values and deepest priorities. Beneath the surface of your daily choices and conscious deliberations, your subconscious holds a kind of internal compass, a sense of what truly matters to you. When you make a decision that aligns with these deep values, even if it's difficult or illogical on the surface, you feel a sense of rightness, of peace. When you act against them, even if the choice seems rational, you experience discomfort, a nagging sense that something isn't quite right. Your subconscious is always gently pulling you toward alignment with your deepest truth, toward congruence between who you are at your core and how you move through the world. And in sleep, when the noise of daily demands falls away, your subconscious can do some of its finest work in helping you remember what truly matters, in realigning you with your authentic path. Your subconscious mind also has a remarkable ability to work with what psychologists call chunking, taking complex information and organizing it into meaningful patterns or units. When you first learned to read, you processed each individual letter. Then your subconscious learned to chunk letters into words, words into phrases, phrases into complete thoughts, all processed in an instant. This same ability allows you to recognize faces instantly, to understand the flow of traffic while driving, to catch the meaning of entire conversations without analyzing every word. Your subconscious is constantly organizing complexity into simplicity, finding patterns, and creating mental shortcuts that allow you to navigate an incredibly complex world with relative ease. And right now, your subconscious is helping you chunk all the sensations of relaxation, the heaviness, the warmth, the slowing breath, into one simple, complete experience: peace. Something deeply comforting about your subconscious is its relationship with attachment and bonding. From your earliest moments, your subconscious learned to recognize safety through the presence of caring others, their voices, their scents, their touch. These early experiences created templates, patterns that your subconscious still uses to recognize and create feelings of safety and belonging. When you feel comforted by a familiar voice or soothed by a gentle touch, you're experiencing your subconscious responding to these ancient patterns of attachment. And even now, even alone in the quiet, your subconscious can access that feeling of being held, being safe, being cared for. You carry within you all the comfort you've ever received, and your subconscious can draw upon these memories to create feelings of safety and security, wrapping you in an invisible blanket of remembered care as you prepare for sleep. Your subconscious is also deeply involved in the process of learning through observation and imitation, something scientists call social learning or modeling. From early childhood, your subconscious absorbed patterns of behavior, emotion, and response simply by watching others. You learned how to navigate social situations, how to express emotion, even how to think about yourself largely through observing and unconsciously imitating those around you. Your subconscious is an extraordinary mimic, able to absorb complex patterns without conscious effort or deliberate practice. And this capacity for learning through observation continues throughout your life. Right now, as you experience this peaceful state, as you model deep relaxation, your subconscious is learning, is absorbing this pattern, making it more and more a part of your natural repertoire, something you can access more easily each time you return to rest. The subconscious mind maintains what researchers call predictive processing. It's constantly generating predictions about what will happen next based on past experience, and then comparing those predictions with what actually occurs. This is how you can anticipate the next word in a familiar song, how you can sense when someone is about to speak, how you navigate the world with such efficiency. Your subconscious is always looking ahead, always preparing, always trying to smooth your path through experience by anticipating what comes next. But in sleep, this constant predicting can finally rest. There's nothing to anticipate, nothing to prepare for, nothing coming next that requires your attention or response. Your subconscious can release this vigilant forward-looking and simply be here, now, in this moment of rest, free from the need to predict or prepare. Your subconscious also holds what might be called your implicit theories about how the world works, assumptions so fundamental that you rarely question them, often don't even know you hold them. These theories shape your experience in profound ways, creating self-fulfilling prophecies that confirm what your subconscious already believes. If your subconscious holds the theory that sleep is difficult, it will filter your experience to notice every time sleep doesn't come easily, reinforcing this belief. But these theories can shift, can change, especially when you bring gentle awareness to them and offer new possibilities. Right now, with each peaceful breath, with each moment of deepening relaxation, your subconscious has the opportunity to form a new theory, that sleep is natural, that rest comes easily, that letting go is the simplest thing in the world. And as this new theory takes root, your experience will gradually shift to match it, creating a new reality where sleep flows to you as naturally as breathing. So let yourself continue this gentle descent, allowing your subconscious to integrate all that serves you, to release all that doesn't, to guide you ever deeper into the healing darkness of sleep. As we continue drifting through these peaceful depths, let's explore how your subconscious maintains a kind of internal pharmacy, capable of producing its own natural chemicals for comfort, healing, and rest. When your subconscious registers safety and relaxation, it signals your body to release neurochemicals like serotonin and endorphins, natural compounds that create feelings of well-being and ease. When you need to sleep, it orchestrates the release of melatonin at just the right time. When you need energy upon waking, it manages the gradual rise of cortisol in the early morning hours. Your subconscious is constantly adjusting this delicate chemistry, this internal symphony of substances that shape your mood, your energy, your capacity for rest. And right now, in this deeply relaxed state, your subconscious is already preparing your body's chemistry for sleep, releasing exactly what you need, in exactly the right amounts, with a precision no external intervention could match. Your subconscious also maintains what psychologists call episodic future thinking, the ability to imagine and pre-experience future scenarios. While this capacity helps you plan and prepare during waking hours, your subconscious also uses it during sleep and dreams to rehearse possibilities, to work through potential challenges, to explore different outcomes in the safe laboratory of your mind. Your subconscious can practice social interactions, problem-solve complex situations, even rehearse physical skills, all while you sleep, all without conscious direction. This is why athletes often mentally rehearse their performances, why you sometimes dream of working through problems or practicing conversations. Your subconscious uses the theater of sleep to prepare you for life, to integrate learning, to explore possibilities. And you need do nothing but rest, your subconscious will take care of everything else. Something profound happens with what researchers call state-dependent memory. The things you learn or experience in one state of consciousness are often most easily recalled when you return to that same state. What you think about while falling asleep, the feelings you cultivate in those liminal moments, can influence not just your sleep but what insights or memories emerge upon waking. Your subconscious weaves connections between states of being, creating bridges between different modes of consciousness. So as you rest here now, cultivating peace, generating calm, your subconscious is creating associations that will serve you, connecting this peaceful state with sleep, linking this sense of safety with rest, building pathways that will become easier and easier to access each time you return to them. Your subconscious is also responsible for maintaining your sense of continuity across time, the felt sense that you are the same person who existed yesterday and will exist tomorrow. Despite constant change in your body, your thoughts, your circumstances, your subconscious maintains a thread of identity that connects all your moments into a coherent narrative. This continuity creates stability, a sense of self that persists through change. And yet, paradoxically, your subconscious also manages the discontinuity of sleep, allowing you to lose consciousness completely for hours at a time, to release your grip on identity and awareness, trusting that you'll return to yourself upon waking. This letting go requires profound trust that your subconscious maintains, trust that allows you to release into unconsciousness night after night without fear, knowing you'll emerge intact, renewed, still yourself. The subconscious mind also processes what we might call metacognition, awareness about awareness itself, thoughts about thinking. Even though this sounds like a conscious process, much of your metacognitive monitoring happens subconsciously. Your subconscious tracks whether you're understanding what you read, whether your memories are reliable, whether your thinking is clear or confused. It's the part of you that knows when you know something and when you don't, that generates the feeling of certainty or doubt. Right now, your subconscious is monitoring your state, tracking your descent towards sleep, noting the signs that you're ready, the heaviness, the drift of thoughts, the softening of boundaries between waking and dreaming. And as it notices these signs, it responds by deepening the process, guiding you gently onward, knowing with quiet certainty that sleep is approaching. Your subconscious also maintains what researchers call the default mode network, a pattern of brain activity that emerges when you're not focused on the external world or any specific task. This is the network active during daydreaming, during mind wandering, during those moments when your thoughts drift freely without direction. The default mode network is where your subconscious does some of its most creative work, making unexpected connections, generating insights, integrating experiences into larger patterns of meaning. And as you transition towards sleep, as your focus on the external world naturally fades, this network becomes more active, allowing your subconscious to wander, to drift, to explore the vast inner landscape without constraint or direction. You need do nothing but allow this natural process, this healthy wandering, this creative dissolution of focused awareness into the spacious freedom of rest. So continue letting go, releasing more and more into the care of your subconscious, which knows so perfectly what you need, which guides you so tenderly toward the sleep that awaits, patient and welcoming. As we drift still deeper into this gentle exploration, let's consider how your subconscious manages something called cognitive load, the amount of mental effort and attention required for different tasks. Your conscious mind can only handle so much at once, becoming overwhelmed when too many demands compete for attention. But your subconscious is a master at managing complexity, at deciding what needs conscious attention and what can be handled automatically in the background. Right now, as you rest here, your subconscious is taking on more and more of the work, relieving your conscious mind of its burdens, allowing it to step back, to release responsibility, to trust that everything necessary is being managed. You don't need to think about breathing, about your heartbeat, about maintaining your body's functions. Your subconscious handles all of this effortlessly, leaving your conscious awareness free to simply drift, to float, to dissolve into rest. Your subconscious also maintains what psychologists call effective forecasting, the ability to predict how you'll feel in future situations. Though your conscious predictions are often inaccurate, your subconscious draws on deep wells of past experience to generate surprisingly accurate intuitions about what will bring you joy or distress. This is the source of those quiet knowings, those feelings that guide you toward or away from certain choices. Your subconscious has experienced countless mornings after good sleep and poor sleep, and it knows deeply, even if your conscious mind forgets, how profoundly restful sleep affects your well-being. Right now, your subconscious is holding the memory of how good you'll feel upon waking, rested and renewed, and this knowledge is part of what allows you to let go, to trust in sleep, to release into the darkness knowing that light and energy await on the other side. Something beautiful happens in the relationship between your subconscious and mirror neurons, specialized brain cells that activate both when you perform an action and when you observe someone else performing that same action. These neurons help you understand others' experiences by simulating them in your own neural system. When you see someone smile, your mirror neurons activate the same patterns as when you smile yourself, helping you feel what they might be feeling. Your subconscious uses these neurons to create empathy, connection, understanding. And remarkably, these same neurons can respond to imagined experiences or even to verbal descriptions. As you hear words describing peace and relaxation, your mirror neurons help your subconscious create the actual experience in your body and mind, translating description into felt reality, words into sensation, narrative into embodied peace. Your subconscious is also the keeper of what researchers call tacit knowledge, things you know but cannot easily put into words or explain. The ability to recognize a face in a crowd, to sense when a social situation feels off, to balance while walking without conscious calculation, these represent tacit knowledge, deep understanding that lives in your subconscious below the level of language. This kind of knowledge is often more reliable than explicit knowledge because it's based on countless experiences integrated over time. Your subconscious has tacit knowledge about what you need for good sleep, about the rhythms and conditions that support your rest. Even if you can't consciously articulate all the factors, your subconscious knows, and it's using that knowledge right now to create optimal conditions internally, adjusting, fine-tuning, preparing you for the deepest, most restorative sleep possible. The subconscious mind also manages what's called attentional blink, brief moments when your conscious awareness is occupied and unable to register new information. This happens dozens of times throughout each day, tiny gaps in conscious awareness that you never notice because your subconscious smooths them over, maintains continuity, fills in the blanks. Your experience of consciousness is actually less continuous than it seems. There are constant flickers, brief dropouts that your subconscious seamlessly bridges. And as you transition towards sleep, these gaps become longer, more frequent, the flickers of consciousness growing dimmer and further apart. Your subconscious is already beginning to bridge these lengthening gaps, maintaining you safely through the transitions, until eventually consciousness doesn't return from one of these brief absences, and you've slipped, without even noticing the moment it happened, into sleep. Your subconscious also holds your personal mythology, the stories you tell yourself about who you are, where you've been, what your life means. These narratives aren't necessarily factually accurate, they're the meaning-making stories your subconscious has woven from the raw material of your experiences. They shape how you see yourself, how you interpret events, what you believe is possible for you. And these stories can change, can be gently rewritten, especially during these liminal states when the boundary between conscious and subconscious is most permeable. Right now, a new story is being written, not forcefully, not deliberately, but organically, naturally. A story where sleep comes easily, where rest is your natural birthright, where peace is always accessible. Your subconscious is absorbing this narrative, weaving it into the larger tapestry of who you are, making it part of your personal mythology, part of the truth you live by. So let yourself sink deeper still into this story, into this truth, allowing your subconscious to embrace it fully, to make it real, to carry you on its gentle current into the healing darkness of sleep. As we journey deeper into the twilight realm of your inner world, let's explore how your subconscious navigates something called temporal discounting, the way distant future outcomes feel less real and less motivating than immediate experiences. Your conscious mind might understand that sleep is important for tomorrow's well-being, but your subconscious lives in the richness of now, responding most powerfully to what's immediately present. This is why creating present-moment peace is so much more effective than thinking about future benefits. Right now, in this moment, you're not preparing for sleep that will come later, you're experiencing peace now, rest now, safety now. And your subconscious responds to this immediate reality with its full attention, with its complete engagement, allowing the present experience of relaxation to naturally deepen and flow towards sleep without any need to think about the future at all. Your subconscious also maintains what neuroscientists call salience detection, the ability to identify what's important or noteworthy in the constant stream of information flowing through your senses. Every moment, you're bombarded with countless stimuli, but your subconscious filters most of it out, bringing to conscious awareness only what it deems relevant or significant. This filtering is happening right now, as your subconscious gradually categorizes more and more sensory input as unimportant, not worthy of attention. The sounds around you, the sensations in your body, even these words, all gradually becoming less salient, less noteworthy, fading into background as your subconscious prepares for sleep by lowering the threshold for what deserves conscious attention. Everything is becoming quieter, softer, less urgent, as your subconscious gently guides you toward the restful darkness where nothing demands your notice. Something remarkable exists in the relationship between your subconscious and what researchers call interoception, your sense of your body's internal state. Your subconscious constantly monitors signals from within: hunger, thirst, fatigue, tension, comfort, pain. These internal sensations provide crucial information about what you need. Right now, your subconscious is reading signals of readiness for sleep, the accumulated fatigue, the comfortable stillness, the slowing of systems. It's integrating all these internal messages into a coherent understanding. Your body is ready, your mind is ready, everything is prepared for rest. And as your subconscious recognizes this readiness, it responds by initiating the cascade of changes that lead naturally towards sleep, trusting the wisdom of your body's own signals, following the gentle pull of your internal rhythms. Your subconscious is also the home of what psychologists call priming, the way exposure to one stimulus influences your response to subsequent stimuli, often without conscious awareness. When you encounter something associated with calm, perhaps a certain scent, a familiar sound, a particular position of your body, your subconscious activates networks of associated concepts and responses, making related experiences more likely. Every time you've rested peacefully, every moment of calm you've ever experienced, has created priming effects in your subconscious. And now, as you settle into rest, your subconscious is drawing on all those accumulated associations, allowing each peaceful memory to prime the next, creating a cascade of calm where each moment of relaxation makes the next moment even easier, deeper, more complete. You're riding a wave of your own accumulated peace, built up over a lifetime of restful moments. The subconscious mind also manages what's called habituation, the process by which repeated exposure to a stimulus leads to decreased response over time. This is why you stop noticing the hum of a refrigerator after a while, why familiar surroundings fade into the background. Your subconscious recognizes patterns and, once it determines something is safe and unchanging, it stops alerting your conscious mind to its presence. Right now, this same process is occurring with everything around you and within you. The sensations that might have seemed noticeable moments ago are becoming familiar, routine, unremarkable. Your subconscious is habituating to the state of rest, categorizing it as safe and normal, allowing your conscious awareness to care less and less about maintaining vigilance, to drift further and further from active engagement with sensation, floating free in a space where nothing requires attention or response. Your subconscious also holds what might be called body memory, not intellectual memory but memory stored in tissues, in posture, in patterns of tension and release. Your body remembers how it feels to be held safely, to rest completely, to surrender into support. These memories aren't stored as thoughts but as physical patterns that your subconscious can reactivate. Right now, your subconscious is accessing these body memories, remembering how it feels to let go completely, allowing your muscles to recall the pattern of deep relaxation, your nervous system to remember the rhythm of peace. Your entire body is remembering how to rest, not as an idea but as a lived, physical reality, a pattern written into your very tissues, reawakening now as your subconscious guides you home to the rest you've known before and will know again, countless times, throughout your life. So continue to release, to remember, to return to this ancient knowledge of rest that lives in your subconscious and in every cell of your body, allowing yourself to be carried by this deep remembering into the peaceful darkness of sleep. As we continue drifting through these deepening layers of awareness, let's explore how your subconscious maintains something called perceptual constancy, the ability to recognize objects as stable and consistent even when the sensory information about them changes. A door appears the same size whether you're near or far, even though its image on your retina shrinks with distance. Your subconscious performs countless calculations instantly to maintain this stable perception of reality. But as you move towards sleep, this constancy begins to soften, to blur. The boundaries between things become less certain, less important. Your subconscious no longer needs to work so hard to maintain a stable, coherent picture of the world. Reality can become fluid, dreamlike, as your subconscious releases its grip on maintaining clear distinctions, allowing everything to merge and flow, preparing you for the strange, beautiful flexibility of dreams where nothing stays constant, where transformation is natural, where the rules of waking reality no longer apply. Your subconscious also manages what researchers call emotional contagion, the tendency to automatically absorb and mirror the emotions of those around you. When you're near someone who's anxious, you might feel anxiety rising in yourself. When surrounded by calm people, calm naturally flows into you. Your subconscious reads emotional states in others and automatically synchronizes your own state to match, often without any conscious awareness. This same mechanism means that cultivating calm within yourself creates calm for those around you, a ripple effect of peace. And right now, even alone, you can imagine being surrounded by perfect peace, by deep rest, by absolute safety, and your subconscious will respond to even this imagined emotional environment, allowing you to catch the contagion of your own peace, to be infected by your own calm, until it permeates every part of you, spreading like gentle warmth through water. Something profound exists in how your subconscious handles what's called cognitive dissonance, the discomfort that arises when you hold conflicting beliefs or when your actions don't match your values. Your subconscious works to reduce this dissonance, to create harmony and consistency in your inner world. When conflict arises, your subconscious seeks resolution, seeks a way to make everything fit together coherently. Right now, if any part of you has been holding tension between wanting sleep and resisting it, between desiring rest and staying vigilant, your subconscious is gently resolving this conflict. It's finding the path of least resistance, the natural resolution where wanting and allowing become one, where there's no conflict between rest and safety, no discord between letting go and being cared for. Everything is aligning, harmonizing, settling into coherence, like notes resolving into a perfect chord. Your subconscious is also intimately involved in processing what psychologists call semantic networks, vast, interconnected webs of related concepts and associations in your memory. When you think of one concept, your subconscious automatically activates related concepts nearby in the network. Think ocean and your subconscious brings up waves, blue, salt, vast, all without conscious effort. This spreading activation means that focusing on ideas of peace, rest, safety, and comfort automatically activates countless related concepts and associations, each one reinforcing and deepening the others. Your subconscious is creating a rich tapestry of peaceful associations, each thread strengthening the whole, building a comprehensive internal environment of rest that becomes more and more real, more and more encompassing with each passing moment. The subconscious mind also maintains what researchers call motor imagery, the ability to mentally simulate physical actions without actually performing them. When you imagine reaching for something, similar neural patterns activate as when you actually reach, though the signal to your muscles is suppressed. Athletes use this capacity to mentally rehearse performances, and research shows it actually improves physical execution. Your subconscious can practice movements, can rehearse actions, can simulate experiences entirely within the mind. And right now, you can use this same capacity to imagine, or perhaps remember, the experience of falling asleep effortlessly, of letting go completely, of surrendering into rest. As you imagine or remember this, your subconscious creates similar neural patterns as the actual experience, essentially practicing sleep, rehearsing release, making the pathway smoother and more familiar for when the actual transition comes. Your subconscious also operates according to what might be called the principle of economy. It seeks the most efficient solution, the path that requires the least energy expenditure. This is why water flows downhill, why heat disperses, why all natural systems tend toward equilibrium. Your subconscious follows this same principle, always guiding you toward the state that requires the least effort to maintain. And sleep, complete rest, total relaxation, this is the most economical state, the one that requires the least energy to sustain. Staying awake requires effort, requires energy, requires your subconscious to maintain alertness and awareness. Sleep is the natural downhill slope, the path of least resistance. Your subconscious is already following this principle, already feeling the pull of gravity toward rest, already allowing you to roll gently down the hill toward the effortless state of sleep, where everything can finally rest, where all systems can settle into their most natural, most economical configuration. So let yourself follow this natural pull, this gentle gravity, releasing all effort, all resistance, allowing your subconscious to guide you down the easiest path, the most natural way, toward the rest that awaits. As we drift ever deeper into this peaceful realm, let's explore how your subconscious maintains what neuroscientists call sensory gating, the ability to filter out repetitive or unimportant sensory information to prevent overwhelm. When you first enter a room with a ticking clock, you hear it clearly, but soon your subconscious gates out this repetitive sound, allowing you to focus on more important stimuli. Right now, your subconscious is gradually increasing this gating function, filtering out more and more of the world around you. Sounds are becoming distant, less distinct. Sensations are fading into the background. Even these words are beginning to blend together, becoming less about their individual meanings and more about their rhythm, their flow, their gentle, repetitive nature. Your subconscious is closing the gates, one by one, protecting you from stimulation, creating a quiet, dimmed space where rest can deepen undisturbed. Your subconscious also navigates something called the mere exposure effect, the phenomenon where repeated exposure to something increases your preference for it and your comfort with it. The more you encounter something, the more familiar it becomes, and the more your subconscious categorizes it as safe and acceptable. This is why songs grow on you, why unfamiliar places become comfortable over time. And this same principle applies to states of consciousness. Each time you enter this peaceful, relaxed state, each time you approach sleep with ease and trust, your subconscious is recording the experience, building familiarity, increasing comfort. What might once have felt uncertain becomes, through repetition, your natural home. Your subconscious is learning, night by night, moment by moment, that this state is safe, is good, is where you belong. And with each return to rest, it becomes a little easier, a little more welcoming, a little more like coming home. Something beautiful happens in the relationship between your subconscious and what researchers call flow states, those moments when you're so absorbed in an activity that time seems to disappear and action feels effortless. Your subconscious manages the delicate balance of challenge and skill that creates flow, automatically adjusting your engagement to maintain that perfect state of absorbed focus. But there's also a kind of flow in letting go, a state where relaxation becomes effortless and self-sustaining, where you're not trying to relax but simply experiencing it naturally, where the transition towards sleep happens by itself. Your subconscious knows how to create this flow state of rest, this effortless drift where you're neither holding on nor pushing away, simply allowing the natural current to carry you. You're entering that flow now, that state where rest creates more rest, where each moment of release makes the next moment even easier, everything flowing naturally toward the peaceful destination of sleep. Your subconscious is also the keeper of what psychologists call expectancy effects, the way your expectations shape your actual experiences. When you expect something to be difficult, your subconscious primes your body and mind for struggle, often creating the very difficulty you anticipated. When you expect ease, your subconscious prepares for smooth passage, often manifesting the simplicity you envisioned. This isn't magical thinking, it's the very real way your subconscious shapes perception, attention, and physiological responses to match your expectations. Right now, you're creating a new expectation, a new anticipation. Not through force or willpower, but through direct experience of ease, of natural relaxation, of organic drift towards sleep. Your subconscious is updating its expectations, learning that sleep can come easily, that rest is natural, that letting go requires no struggle. And as these expectations shift, your future experiences shift with them, creating a beneficial cycle where ease begets ease, where peace generates more peace. The subconscious mind also manages what's called proprioceptive drift, the way your sense of your body's boundaries can shift and change. In certain meditative states, the clear edges of where your body ends and the environment begins can blur. You might feel larger, more expansive, or as though you're dissolving into your surroundings. Your subconscious normally maintains clear body boundaries for practical navigation through the world, but as you approach sleep, these boundaries naturally soften. You might notice yourself feeling heavier, as though sinking into and merging with whatever supports you. Or you might feel lighter, less solid, less substantial. Your subconscious is allowing these boundaries to become permeable, flexible, preparing you for the state of sleep where the distinction between self and non-self, between inner and outer, becomes meaningless. You're becoming like water finding its level, like mist settling into a valley, boundaries dissolving, form becoming fluid. Your subconscious also operates through what researchers call chunking time, the way it packages experiences into meaningful units. Your conscious experience of time is actually constructed by your subconscious, which decides what constitutes a moment, an event, a meaningful unit of experience. As you move towards sleep, your subconscious begins chunking time differently. Individual moments blur together. The distinction between one breath and the next becomes less clear. Time itself becomes thick, syrupy, slow. Or perhaps time speeds up, gaps appearing in your awareness where moments simply vanish. Your subconscious is restructuring your experience of time, preparing you for sleep's timelessness, for the dream state where hours can pass in what feels like moments, or moments can contain what feels like hours. Time is becoming flexible, malleable, eventually meaningless, as your subconscious guides you toward that eternal present moment of sleep, where past and future dissolve into the infinite now. So continue to dissolve, to merge, to release your boundaries, allowing your subconscious to reshape time, to blur edges, to carry you into the timeless, boundless space of deep, peaceful sleep. As we continue this gentle descent into the deepest layers of your being, let's explore how your subconscious maintains something called contextual memory, the way memories are tied to the environment in which they were formed. When you return to a place from your past, memories flood back not because you consciously recalled them, but because your subconscious recognizes the context and automatically activates associated memories. This same principle means that your bedroom, your bed, the routine of preparing for sleep, all of these become powerful context cues that signal to your subconscious that sleep is approaching. Each night you rest here, you're strengthening these contextual associations, making this environment a more powerful trigger for sleep. Your subconscious reads the context, the dim light, the comfortable position, the quiet, and automatically begins the cascade of changes that lead toward rest. The context itself is doing much of the work, guiding your subconscious towards sleep without any conscious effort required. Your subconscious also navigates what researchers call the paradox of choice, the way having too many options can actually make decisions more difficult and less satisfying. Your conscious mind can become paralyzed by excessive choice, but your subconscious works best with simplicity, with clear paths, with singular focus. Right now, in this moment, there's no choice to make, no decision required. There's only one direction, toward rest, toward sleep, toward letting go. This simplicity is profoundly relaxing to your subconscious, which no longer needs to evaluate options, weigh alternatives, or maintain decision-making readiness. The path is clear, the way is obvious, the direction is certain. Your subconscious can release all the energy it normally dedicates to navigating choices and simply follow the simple path that leads inevitably toward sleep. Something remarkable exists in how your subconscious processes what psychologists call the Zeigarnik effect, the tendency to remember incomplete tasks more readily than completed ones. Your subconscious keeps active track of unfinished business, maintaining a kind of background awareness of what still needs attention. But here's the beautiful truth: your subconscious also knows when it's appropriate to release this tracking, when completion can wait, when it's safe to let go of monitoring unfinished tasks. Right now, your subconscious is giving you permission to release all those incomplete loops, all those pending concerns. They'll still be there in the morning, ready to be attended to, but for now, in this protected time, your subconscious is closing those open files, quieting those background processes, allowing your mental resources to be freed from tracking and monitoring. Everything can wait. Everything will keep. For now, there's only rest. Your subconscious also maintains what neuroscientists call cross-modal integration, the ability to combine information from different senses into a unified experience. The sight of fire and the feeling of warmth, the sound of rain and the smell of wet earth, your subconscious weaves these separate sensory streams into coherent, unified experiences. And as you drift towards sleep, this integration begins to loosen, to fragment. Senses become less distinct from one another. A sound might have a color. A sensation might have a taste. Your subconscious is releasing the rigid boundaries between sensory categories, allowing a more fluid, dreamlike experience where everything blends and mingles. This is preparation for the dream state, where sensory rules no longer apply, where experience becomes a rich, strange tapestry woven from fragments of sensation that combine in impossible, beautiful ways. Your subconscious is already beginning to weave these dreams, already starting to blur the edges between senses, between real and imagined, between waking and sleeping. The subconscious mind also operates through what's called functional fixedness, the tendency to see things only in terms of their typical use. A chair is for sitting, a cup is for drinking. Your conscious mind gets stuck in these fixed categories, but your subconscious, especially as it approaches the freedom of dreams, can see beyond conventional uses and meanings. Things become fluid, transformable, capable of being anything. And this same flexibility applies to your sense of self, your identity. The rigid definitions of who you are, your roles, your responsibilities, your self-concept, all of these can soften as your subconscious prepares for sleep. You don't have to be anyone in particular right now. You don't have to maintain any specific identity or fulfill any particular role. Your subconscious is giving you permission to release all these fixed definitions, to become fluid and undefined, to exist without the burden of being anyone or anything specific. Just pure being, without definition, without boundary, without name. Your subconscious also manages what researchers call automaticity, the process by which behaviors become so well learned that they require virtually no conscious attention or effort. Tying your shoes, brushing your teeth, driving a familiar route, these actions can happen almost entirely outside conscious awareness, guided smoothly by your subconscious. And your subconscious is learning, has been learning, to make sleep itself automatic, to make the transition to rest so natural and well practiced that it requires no conscious guidance at all. Each night, the pathway becomes smoother, more automatic, more deeply grooved into your neural patterns. Your subconscious is making sleep into something that just happens, like breathing, like your heartbeat, an automatic process that unfolds perfectly without any need for conscious management or control. You need do nothing. Your subconscious knows the way, has traveled it countless times, will travel it countless more, carrying you effortlessly into sleep. So release now, completely, trusting in the automaticity, in the well-worn path, in the ancient pattern that your subconscious knows so perfectly, allowing yourself to be carried into sleep without effort, without thought, as naturally as breathing. As we drift deeper still into this ocean of inner tranquility, let's explore how your subconscious manages something called action-outcome learning, the way it tracks the relationship between what you do and what results follow. Through countless repetitions, your subconscious learns which actions lead to which outcomes, building an internal map of cause and effect. When you flip a switch, light appears. When you turn a key, a door opens. Your subconscious predicts outcomes based on actions so efficiently that the world feels reliable, comprehensible, safe. And right now, your subconscious is learning a new action-outcome relationship. When you relax deeply, when you release control, when you allow yourself to drift, sleep follows naturally. Not always immediately, not always in the exact same way, but inevitably, reliably. Your subconscious is building confidence in this relationship, learning to trust that letting go leads to rest, that surrender brings sleep, that releasing effort produces the very outcome you seek. Your subconscious also navigates what researchers call the illusion of control, the tendency to believe we have more influence over outcomes than we actually do. Your conscious mind often tries to control, to manage, to direct. But your subconscious knows a deeper truth: much of life simply unfolds, regardless of our attempts to control it. Sleep is one of these things. You cannot force it, cannot command it into being. The harder you try to make sleep happen, the more elusive it becomes. But your subconscious understands what your conscious mind sometimes forgets: that sleep comes not through control but through release, not through effort but through allowing. Right now, your subconscious is helping you release the illusion of control, helping you recognize that you don't need to make sleep happen, you only need to allow it, to stop preventing it, to step out of its way. And as you release control, as you stop trying, sleep naturally moves toward you, like water flowing into a space you've finally emptied. Something profound exists in how your subconscious processes what's called latent inhibition, the phenomenon where familiar stimuli are more easily ignored than novel ones. Your subconscious automatically pays less attention to things you've encountered many times before, saving its alertness for new or unexpected elements in your environment. As your bedroom, your bed, your nighttime routine become more and more familiar, your subconscious naturally pays them less attention, requires less vigilance, can relax more completely. Every repeated night in this space, every familiar element of your sleep environment, actually makes rest easier because your subconscious has learned, nothing here requires alertness, nothing here demands attention, everything here is known and safe. The familiar becomes a lullaby, each recognized element telling your subconscious that it can rest, that no vigilance is needed, that sleep is the only reasonable response to such complete, comforting familiarity. Your subconscious is also intimately involved in what psychologists call ego depletion, the way making decisions and exerting self-control gradually depletes your mental resources throughout the day. Each choice you make, each impulse you resist, each moment of discipline or self-regulation draws from a limited pool of mental energy. By the end of the day, this pool is naturally low, and your subconscious knows this. It recognizes the depletion, feels the exhaustion of your decision-making systems. And this recognition is actually a signal, it's time to stop deciding, time to stop controlling, time to release all effort and simply be. Your subconscious is using this natural depletion as a guide, allowing the exhaustion of your conscious control systems to become permission for complete release, for the letting go that sleep requires. You're too tired to maintain control, and that's perfect, that's exactly the state in which sleep comes most easily. The subconscious mind also operates according to what's called the availability heuristic, the mental shortcut of judging how likely something is based on how easily examples come to mind. If you can easily remember times when something happened, your subconscious estimates it's more common or more likely. Right now, with each moment of deepening relaxation, with each breath that carries you closer to sleep, you're creating memories that your subconscious will use. You're building a library of examples where rest came easily, where letting go felt natural, where sleep approached without struggle. And as this library grows, night after night, your subconscious will increasingly estimate that easy sleep is normal, is likely, is what naturally happens. The more examples you accumulate of peaceful rest, the more your subconscious expects peaceful rest, creating a beneficial spiral where expectation and experience reinforce each other endlessly. Your subconscious also manages what researchers call backward masking, the phenomenon where a stimulus presented after another can actually prevent conscious awareness of the first stimulus, even though your subconscious still processes it. This reveals a profound truth. Your subconscious perceives and processes more than your conscious mind ever realizes. Right now, beneath your conscious awareness, your subconscious is reading countless signals, the rhythm of your breath, the temperature of your skin, the quality of muscle tension, the electrical patterns in your brain, and responding to all of them simultaneously, making countless micro-adjustments to guide you towards sleep. You're not aware of most of this work, and you don't need to be. Your subconscious is handling everything below the threshold of consciousness, in the vast, dark space beneath awareness, where most of the real work happens, where sleep is already being prepared for you in ways you'll never need to consciously understand. So continue to release, to trust, to allow your subconscious to work in its mysterious ways, doing what it does so perfectly beneath the surface of awareness, carrying you deeper and deeper toward the sleep that awaits. As we journey ever deeper into the quiet sanctuary of your inner world, let's explore how your subconscious maintains something called pattern completion, the ability to recognize and complete familiar patterns even from partial information. When you see only part of a familiar face, your subconscious fills in the rest. When you hear the first few notes of a well-known song, your subconscious anticipates what comes next. This same capacity means that as you begin the familiar ritual of settling into rest, your subconscious recognizes the pattern and automatically begins completing it, filling in the steps that lead towards sleep even before you consciously move through them. The dimming of lights, the comfortable position, the slowing breath, these are the opening notes of a pattern your subconscious knows by heart, and it's already moving toward the completion of that pattern, already anticipating the sleep that naturally follows, already preparing your body and mind for the resolution that this familiar sequence always brings. Your subconscious also navigates what researchers call the serial position effect, the tendency to remember items at the beginning and end of a sequence more easily than those in the middle. Your subconscious organizes information into meaningful sequences, highlighting what comes first and last while allowing the middle to blur. And as you drift through this twilight space between waking and sleeping, your conscious mind is experiencing something similar. The clear awareness you had at the beginning of rest is fading, the middle becoming indistinct, dreamlike, hard to track. Your subconscious is creating this blur intentionally, allowing the middle space, this liminal zone between wake and sleep, to become vague and undefined, a soft transition rather than a sharp boundary. You don't need to remember this middle passage. You need only to release into it, to let it carry you from the beginning you remember to the end you won't consciously witness, the moment of falling asleep, which happens in this forgotten middle space where consciousness gently dissolves. Something beautiful happens in the relationship between your subconscious and what psychologists call approach avoidance motivation, the way you're simultaneously drawn towards certain goals and repelled by others, attracted to some things while resisting others. Your subconscious constantly manages these competing motivations, balancing approach and avoidance to guide your behavior. But in this moment of rest, these conflicts can dissolve. There's nothing to approach, nothing to avoid. The usual tensions between wanting and not wanting, between seeking and fleeing, all of these can finally quiet. Your subconscious is releasing its management of these competing drives, allowing everything to settle into simple, unified direction, toward rest, toward release, toward sleep. No more conflict, no more tension between opposing motivations. Only the gentle, singular pull toward the peace that awaits. Your subconscious is also deeply involved in what neuroscientists call gain control, the way your nervous system adjusts its sensitivity to incoming signals, like the way your eyes adjust to darkness or brightness. In bright light, your subconscious turns down the gain, making you less sensitive to prevent overwhelm. In darkness, it increases gain to detect faint signals. Right now, as you move towards sleep, your subconscious is adjusting the gain on all your sensory systems, gradually turning down the sensitivity. Sounds become harder to detect, requiring more volume to register. Touch sensations dull, requiring more pressure to notice. Even internal sensations fade as your subconscious lowers the gain on interoceptive awareness. Everything is being turned down, dimmed, muted, as your subconscious prepares your nervous system for the profound reduction in responsiveness that characterizes sleep. You're becoming less and less sensitive to everything, external and internal, as the world gradually fades away. The subconscious mind also manages what's called reconsolidation, the process by which memories are updated each time they're recalled. When you remember something, your subconscious doesn't simply retrieve a static file, it reconstructs the memory, and in that reconstruction, the memory can change, can be updated with new information or new emotional coloring. This means that your memories of past sleep difficulties can actually be gently transformed. As you experience ease and peace now, as you create new associations with bedtime and rest, your subconscious can update those old memories, can reconsolidate them with new emotional qualities. The past doesn't have to define the present. Each peaceful night isn't just creating new memories, it's subtly transforming old ones, updating your entire relationship with sleep, healing the history as well as shaping the future. Your subconscious also operates through what researchers call spreading activation decay, the way activated concepts in your semantic network gradually lose energy and fade back into the background. When you think about something, related concepts light up in your mind, but this activation naturally decays over time, allowing those concepts to fade away unless they're actively maintained. Right now, all the thoughts and concerns that were active earlier, the worries, the plans, the preoccupations, are experiencing this natural decay. Your subconscious is allowing them to fade, to lose energy, to drift back into the quiet darkness where inactive concepts rest. You don't have to push thoughts away, they're naturally decaying on their own, their activation naturally diminishing as time passes and you direct your attention elsewhere. Everything is fading, quieting, returning to silence, as your subconscious allows the natural decay process to clear your mind without effort, without struggle, simply through the passage of time and the gentle redirection of focus. So continue to allow this fading, this dimming, this gentle decay of all that no longer serves this moment, trusting your subconscious to manage it all perfectly, to let everything naturally quiet and dissolve as you drift deeper into rest. As we continue drifting through these deepening layers of consciousness, let's explore how your subconscious maintains something called covert attention, the ability to focus awareness on something without outwardly indicating it, without moving your eyes or turning your head. Your subconscious can direct attention internally, can scan your body's landscape, can monitor different aspects of your experience all while you remain perfectly still. Right now, your subconscious is using this covert attention to check in with different parts of you, noticing where you're already relaxed, finding places that might still hold tension, gently encouraging release. Your subconscious is doing this internal scan quietly, beneath conscious awareness, tending to you like a loving caretaker checking on someone who sleeps, making small adjustments to ensure your comfort, guiding different body systems toward their optimal state for rest. You don't need to direct this attention consciously, your subconscious is handling it all, quietly, efficiently, lovingly. Your subconscious also navigates what researchers call the generation effect, the phenomenon where information you generate yourself is remembered better than information you simply receive. When you actively create something, even if it's just completing a sentence or solving a puzzle, your subconscious encodes it more deeply. This same principle means that the peace you generate within yourself, the calm you create through your own choices and attention, becomes more deeply rooted than peace that might be imposed from outside. Right now, you're not being made to relax, you're allowing relaxation to emerge from within. You're not being forced into calm, you're discovering it as something that was already there, waiting. And because you're generating this peace yourself, because your subconscious recognizes it as your own creation, it will be encoded more deeply, more lastingly, more available to you whenever you return to rest. Something profound exists in how your subconscious processes what's called entrainment, the tendency for rhythms to synchronize with one another when they interact over time. Two pendulum clocks placed near each other will gradually synchronize their swinging. fireflies in a tree begin to blink in unison. Your subconscious is exquisitely sensitive to rhythm and naturally entrains to rhythmic patterns in your environment. The steady rhythm of these words, the regular pattern of your breathing, the consistent pulse of your heartbeat, all of these rhythms are gradually synchronizing, finding a common tempo, creating a unified rhythm that pulls everything into coherence. Your subconscious is orchestrating this entrainment, helping all your systems find a shared rhythm, a collective pulse that carries you smoothly, steadily, rhythmically toward the sleep that waits at the end of this gentle, synchronized dance. Your subconscious is also deeply involved in what psychologists call spontaneous recovery, the phenomenon where an extinguished response can suddenly reappear after a period of rest. A behavior that seemed to have disappeared can spontaneously return, especially after sleep. This reveals something important. Rest doesn't just allow you to continue where you left off, it can actually restore capacities, can return resources that seemed depleted. The sleep you're moving toward isn't just an absence of waking but an active state of restoration, where your subconscious does remarkable work to renew, repair, regenerate. Things that felt impossible at the end of the day become possible again after rest. Energy that seemed completely exhausted returns. Your subconscious knows this, knows that sleep brings renewal, that rest restores, and this knowledge makes letting go easier, makes surrender feel safe. You're not just stopping, you're preparing for restoration, for spontaneous recovery of all that felt depleted. The subconscious mind also operates through what's called selective optimization with compensation, a strategy where you focus your limited resources on what matters most while compensating for what you can no longer do. As you age, as you grow tired, your subconscious helps you allocate attention and energy more selectively, focusing on priorities while letting other things go. Right now, at the end of the day, your subconscious is doing exactly this, optimizing for what matters most, which is rest and restoration, while compensating for depleted resources by releasing non-essential processes. Everything that doesn't serve sleep is being set aside. Every system not needed for rest is being powered down. Your subconscious is focusing all available resources on the singular priority of sleep, creating the conditions for the deepest possible restoration by letting everything else wait until morning. Your subconscious also manages what researchers call cross-race effect, the phenomenon where you more easily recognize faces from your own demographic group than from others. But this extends beyond race to any category. You recognize familiar patterns more easily than unfamiliar ones. Your subconscious has become intimately familiar with your own internal patterns, the particular way your body feels when relaxed, the specific quality of your thoughts when peaceful, the characteristic rhythm of your breathing when approaching sleep. Because your subconscious knows these patterns so well, it can guide you toward them more and more efficiently. It recognizes the signs of approaching sleep because it's seen them countless times before. It knows what your relaxed state looks like because it's helped you reach it night after night. This deep familiarity with your own patterns means your subconscious can navigate you towards sleep with increasing ease, recognizing every signpost along the way, knowing every turn of this familiar path. So continue to trust in this familiarity, in the deep knowledge your subconscious has of your own patterns, allowing it to guide you with perfect confidence along the well-known path that leads to sleep. As we drift even deeper into this sanctuary of inner stillness, let's explore how your subconscious maintains something called binding, the remarkable process by which separate features of perception are integrated into unified objects. When you see a red ball, your subconscious binds together the perception of color, shape, and texture into a single, coherent experience. But as you approach sleep, this binding becomes looser, more flexible. Features can separate and drift apart. A sound might exist independent of its source. A color might float free of the object it belongs to. Your subconscious is releasing the tight connections that create coherent waking perception, allowing experience to become more fragmentary, more dreamlike. This loosening is preparation for the dream state, where binding follows different rules, where impossible combinations create the strange beauty of dreams. You're beginning to experience this now, thoughts disconnecting from their meanings, sensations floating free, everything becoming softer, less defined, less bound together by the rigid rules of waking consciousness. Your subconscious also navigates what researchers call the testing effect, the phenomenon where retrieving information strengthens memory more than simply reviewing it again. Each time you recall something, your subconscious strengthens the neural pathways associated with that memory. This principle means that remembering times of peaceful sleep, recalling moments of easy rest, actually strengthens your capacity to experience them again. Your subconscious is drawing on these memories right now, not just as pleasant thoughts but as active templates, as patterns it can follow to recreate those states. Each memory of restful sleep becomes a pathway back to that experience, becomes easier to access with each recall. And in accessing these memories now, you're simultaneously strengthening them, making them more available, more influential, more powerful as guides for your current experience. Something beautiful happens in the relationship between your subconscious and what psychologists call mental contrasting, the process of imagining a desired future and then acknowledging present obstacles, which helps mobilize energy to bridge the gap. But there's also a time for releasing this contrast, for dissolving the tension between present and future. Right now, in this liminal space, your subconscious is softening the distinction between where you are and where you're going. You're no longer moving towards sleep from a place of wakefulness, the boundary between these states is dissolving. You're neither fully awake nor yet asleep, but somewhere in between, in that beautiful middle space where contrasts fade, where opposites blur together, where the journey and the destination become one continuous, seamless flow. Your subconscious is also deeply involved in what neuroscientists call phase locking, the synchronization of neural oscillations at different frequencies. Different brain regions oscillate at different rates, and your subconscious coordinates these rhythms, creating moments of synchronization that allow different parts of your brain to communicate effectively. As you approach sleep, the patterns of phase locking change, certain frequencies begin to dominate, creating the characteristic brainwave patterns of different sleep stages. Your subconscious is orchestrating this transition right now, gradually shifting the dominant frequencies, changing the patterns of synchronization, tuning your brain like an instrument being prepared for a different kind of music. You don't need to understand or control this process. Your subconscious is managing it with extraordinary precision, conducting the symphony of neural rhythms that will carry you through the night. The subconscious mind also operates through what's called source monitoring, the process of remembering where information came from, distinguishing what you experienced directly from what you imagined, heard, or dreamed. Your subconscious usually maintains these distinctions carefully, helping you navigate between memory and imagination, between perception and thought. But as you drift towards sleep, source monitoring becomes less reliable, less important. Did you just think that, or hear it? Was that a real sensation or an imagined one? The boundaries blur, and your subconscious allows them to blur, because in the realm of sleep and dreams, the source doesn't matter. Everything becomes equally real, equally vivid, equally present. Your subconscious is releasing its grip on source monitoring, allowing experience to flow freely between imagination and perception, between thought and sensation, preparing you for the dream world where all distinctions dissolve. Your subconscious also manages what researchers call the isolation effect, the phenomenon where distinctive or unusual items are remembered better than common ones. Something that stands out is noticed and encoded more strongly. But right now, as everything settles into similarity, as all sensations become equally dim and quiet, as distinction fades into uniformity, this very lack of difference becomes deeply relaxing to your subconscious. There's nothing that stands out, nothing that demands special attention, nothing unusual that requires alertness or response. Everything is equally soft, equally quiet, equally peaceful. This uniformity is profoundly restful, telling your subconscious that vigilance isn't needed, that monitoring can cease, that everything is safe enough to blend into an undifferentiated field of gentle, peaceful saneness. Nothing to notice, nothing to track, nothing to remember, only the soft, uniform blanket of rest. So continue to release into this uniformity, this sameness, this gentle dissolution of all distinction, allowing your subconscious to guide you deeper into the undifferentiated peace of sleep. As we drift ever deeper into this realm of profound stillness, let's explore how your subconscious maintains something called opponent processing, the way many systems in your body operate through opposing forces held in balance. Wakefulness and sleep, tension and relaxation, sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous systems, these pairs work in opposition, and your subconscious maintains the balance between them. Throughout the day, the waking systems have been dominant, but now, in this quiet evening time, your subconscious is gently shifting the balance, allowing the opposing forces to rise. The parasympathetic nervous system, which governs rest and restoration, is gradually taking precedence. The mechanisms of sleep are gaining strength. Your subconscious is tipping the scales, not forcefully but gradually, naturally, like the tide turning, like day giving way to night. This shift is already happening, already in motion, and it will continue until the balance tips completely toward sleep, toward rest, toward the deep restoration that awaits. Your subconscious also navigates what researchers call the levels of processing effect. The way information processed deeply and meaningfully is remembered better than information processed superficially. But this same principle works in reverse for release. To let something go, your subconscious processes it more shallowly, gives it less attention, less elaboration. Right now, any thoughts or concerns that arise are being processed at the shallowest possible level. Your subconscious isn't engaging with their meaning, isn't elaborating on them, isn't connecting them to other thoughts or memories. They're simply being noted and released, acknowledged and let go, touched so lightly that they leave no lasting impression. This shallow processing allows everything to flow through without sticking, without creating engagement, without pulling you back into active thinking. Everything passes through like water through a sieve, leaving nothing behind. Something profound exists in how your subconscious processes what's called inhibitory control, the ability to suppress automatic responses, to stop yourself from acting on impulses or habitual patterns. Throughout the day, your subconscious has been exercising this control constantly, helping you resist distractions, maintain focus, follow social norms rather than impulses. But this control requires energy, and by evening that energy is naturally depleted. Your subconscious recognizes this depletion and responds by reducing inhibitory demands. Right now, there's nothing you need to inhibit, nothing you need to suppress. You can let automatic processes unfold without interference. You can allow your body to do what it naturally wants to do, to rest, to release, to surrender and to sleep. The exhaustion of inhibitory control isn't a problem, it's permission to stop trying, stop controlling, stop managing, and simply allow. Your subconscious is also deeply involved in what neuroscientists call synaptic homeostasis, the process by which neural connections are strengthened during waking and then scaled down during sleep to prevent saturation and maintain learning capacity. Throughout the day, your brain has been forming new connections, strengthening existing ones, building up the network through which thoughts and experiences flow. But this growth needs to be balanced, needs to be regulated. During sleep, your subconscious will manage a kind of pruning, a scaling back that strengthens important connections while weakening others, creating space for new learning tomorrow. This process is part of why sleep feels restorative. It's not just rest but active maintenance, careful tending of your neural garden. Your subconscious is preparing for this work now, getting ready to spend the night hours optimizing, balancing, maintaining the incredibly complex network of your mind. The subconscious mind also operates through what's called the anchor and adjust heuristic, the tendency to start with an initial value and then adjust from there, often insufficiently. Your subconscious uses anchors constantly to make quick judgments and decisions. But right now, as you rest, a new anchor is being established. The anchor is peace, is relaxation, is this deep state of rest. And from this anchor, everything else is adjusted. Any tension is measured against this baseline of relaxation and found to be minimal, temporary, easily released. Any wakefulness is measured against this deep rest and found to be superficial, fading, insignificant. Your subconscious is anchoring your experience in peace, and everything else is being adjusted in relation to this peaceful baseline, making the peace feel more and more like your natural state, your true condition, the reality from which everything else is a temporary, minor deviation. Your subconscious also manages what researchers call attentional capture, the way certain stimuli automatically grab your attention, pulling awareness toward them involuntarily. Sudden movements, loud sounds, personally relevant information, these can capture attention even when you're trying to focus elsewhere. But as you move towards sleep, the threshold for attentional capture rises dramatically. It takes more and more to grab your attention, to pull you out of this deepening rest. Your subconscious is raising this threshold, making you less and less responsive to external stimuli, harder and harder to disturb. You're becoming increasingly absorbed in the internal experience of rest, increasingly unavailable to be captured by anything outside. The world is receding, fading, becoming less and less able to reach you as your subconscious builds a protective cocoon of inattention, of peaceful unavailability, of blessed disconnection from everything that might disturb this precious descent into sleep. So continue to sink deeper into this protected space, this cocoon of peace, trusting your subconscious to maintain the boundaries, to keep you safe, to allow nothing to disturb your journey into the deep, restorative darkness of sleep. As we arrive at this final part of our gentle journey together, let's rest in the profound wisdom your subconscious holds about completion and cycles. Your subconscious understands endings, knows that every day must close, every cycle must complete, every period of waking must give way to sleep. This isn't something to resist or fear, but a natural rhythm as essential as the setting of the sun, as inevitable as the turning of seasons. Your subconscious carries the knowledge of countless cycles, countless transitions from wake to sleep, and it knows with absolute certainty that this transition is safe, is natural, is exactly what should be happening now. Your subconscious also maintains what researchers call the recency effect, the tendency to remember most clearly what happened most recently. And so these final moments, this final descent, will linger in your subconscious as you sleep, coloring your rest with their quality of peace, their atmosphere of safety, their gentle, loving support. What you experience now, in these last moments of waking, becomes the bridge you cross into sleep, and your subconscious will remember this bridge, will find it easier to cross each time you return to rest. You're creating the most recent memory, the freshest impression, and your subconscious is encoding it deeply, making it the template for future transitions, the pattern that will become easier and more familiar with each repetition. Something beautiful happens in the final moments before sleep, what researchers might call the hypnagogic state, when your conscious mind finally releases its grip completely. Images may flash behind your closed eyes, thoughts may become strange and disconnected, you may experience brief sensations of falling or floating. Your subconscious is creating these experiences as consciousness dissolves, as the boundary between waking and dreaming becomes so thin it's almost transparent. These are signs that the transition is nearly complete, that sleep is reaching up to meet you as you sink down toward it, that the two states are merging, blending, becoming one. Your subconscious knows that you don't need to witness the exact moment of falling asleep, in fact, you never do. That moment always happens in the gap of awareness, in the space between thoughts, in the mysterious transition that consciousness can never quite capture because consciousness itself is what's being released. Your subconscious will carry you across this threshold tenderly, carefully, will ensure you arrive safely in sleep without your conscious mind ever knowing exactly when the crossing occurred. This is as it should be. This is how it always happens. This is the gentle mystery your subconscious has protected for you every night of your life. As we complete this journey together, know that your subconscious has absorbed everything it needed from these words, has taken what serves you and released what doesn't, has used this time to prepare you perfectly for the rest that now awaits. Every fact, every principle, every truth about your subconscious that we've explored has been working together, weaving a comprehensive tapestry of peace, creating the optimal conditions for deep, restorative, healing sleep. Your subconscious will continue its faithful work through the night, maintaining your breathing, sustaining your heartbeat, processing your experiences, consolidating your memories, pruning and strengthening neural connections, releasing unnecessary tension, producing restorative chemicals, managing the cycles of sleep stages, and protecting you through the hours of darkness. You can trust this work completely. You can release all conscious monitoring, all awareness, all effort. Your subconscious doesn't need your help, doesn't need your attention, doesn't need anything from you except permission to do what it does so perfectly, to carry you through sleep and deliver you safely to morning, refreshed, restored, renewed. So take this final moment to appreciate your subconscious, this faithful companion that has been with you since your first breath and will remain until your last, this tireless guardian that never rests even as it guides you into rest, this wise, ancient part of you that knows so much more than your conscious mind will ever comprehend. Feel gratitude for all it does, for all it is, for the way it holds you always in its gentle, capable care. And now, with this gratitude, with this trust, with this complete release of effort and control, allow yourself to surrender fully into the darkness, into the silence, into the peace. Let your subconscious carry you the rest of the way. Let go of these words, let go of awareness, let go of everything. Sleep is here, waiting for you with infinite patience, infinite gentleness, infinite welcome. Your subconscious knows the way home. Let it take you there now. Rest well, dear one. The journey is complete.